Today's Wednesday, December 16th, 2015, and you're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you. Good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're listening to the program or watching it. Welcome to the Elevator Radio Show. I'm your humble host, Tom Seibert. It is good to be here this Wednesday morning where I wish I was not reporting on the articles that occurred in the past week regarding elevators and escalators. Just not a good week whatsoever in news and online, and it's just a reminder that each one of us needs to do whatever we can to make sure that when we see unsafe conditions, they are corrected. It's not somebody else's responsibility. It is not another trade's responsibility to make sure that openings are closed, etc., etc. Because if we can prevent the type of tragedy that occurred on Monday here in Chicago, or if we can prevent the kind of tragedy that occurs more often than not on escalators, then we are making a difference in the world to make sure that we all, and anybody for that matter that is around elevators or escalators or other vertical transportation or other equipment, goes home to their family every single day. And that is becoming more difficult than many of us realize. So especially very difficult around the holidays. I'll get into the articles shortly, but really the soapbox talk right now is truly to have you think, have you look, have you make sure that when you see unsafe conditions, they could be at work, they could be in the general public space, they could be wherever, that you're doing your part to ensure that nobody gets hurt from them. Just too many are happening, and it's not just elevators and escalators. It's just too many accidents. So please do your part when you see stupid Facebook posts of people showing stuff that are definitely not safe, and they are the person who was in front of the situation. Please call them out on it. Tell them to, correct the situation or make somebody, aware of it. So anyway, I don't mean to trivialize anything other than that or get into a whole bunch of pre-Christmas show notes, stuff like that. Next week, there will probably be no show. I'm headed back up to Wisconsin to spend it with my family, and Wednesday will be, as many of you out there as well, your last day before headed into the Christmas holiday, which means you'll have Thursday and Friday off. So I am leaving right after work on Wednesday, which means another long drive, and one of those deals where I'm just not, I'm getting older and it's getting more difficult to get the show out, and then, I can work a full day, and for those of you out there that don't understand that, I get up every Wednesday morning, 2 o'clock or so, come in to work, get the show prep done, get it up online, and then produce the show in one fell swoop, no editing involved, so that by the time the show is online and done, it's out there, and I can start my work day. I don't end until 4:30, 5 o'clock, so it's a long day. Wednesdays are, and to throw a 7.5 hour drive on top of that, it's just too much for me, and I really don't want to get into an accident and drive unsafe. So that's kind of the general gist of that. I don't think I'll have time to get something out Tuesday night. So I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas before headed into next week. But we will be back that last week in December, and kind of have hopefully we'll have a recap of the year in news. We'll see if we can't kind of pull that together. If not, maybe the first week in January. Okay, we'll get up into the news next. As always, send your email comments if you have any, or questions, concerns, if you want to be anonymous, which many of you do want to be anonymous. I get lots of emails. Most of you who do not want to be on a record, which don't worry about, it's okay. And we'll never share your information if you prefer me not to do so. So, elevatorradioshow@gmail.com. Up next, the news of the week.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
Okay, first news article of the program, and this is the article that ties into my soapbox talk about safety, making sure that when you witness or see unsafe conditions that may fall out of your trade or your industry or whatever, whether it's construction, modernization, whatever, speak up, make sure it's safe, don't slough it off. Make somebody aware that there's a problem. Make your managers know. Make sure the managers know that they have contacted the building owner, et cetera, et cetera. It's so important. If nobody's going to listen, make sure somebody puts it in writing. It's so easy to do. It's so important, especially when the ramifications are this. On Monday morning during a warehouse firefight, there was a firefighter. It's happened in Chicago, a firefighter who died after falling down an elevator shaft, an open elevator shaft that was not barricaded off. Tragedy could have been prevented, and it's awful, and I can't get beyond. This was not logging up, unfortunately, not right now. But anytime we lose one of our, I want to say brothers and sisters. I'm not a firefighter, so I really can't say that. It's not my brother or sister, but in many locations, in many, gosh, I hate pop-up ads. Many areas, the fire department oversees the elevators in the state or location where the elevators are at, and just terrible. Next article is from the Sun-Times. First one was from the Chicago Tribune, who just blasted you with a bunch of pop-up ads. Here's a photograph, which I do not think is correct. However, Chicago Sun-Times has an article talking about the city moving to demolish building after firefighter dies in fall. If you watch the video in the next article, you're going to see that there is an actual elevator shaft. The photo that is shown here notes an open elevator shaft, and I don't know if this is a temporary type of lifting, unit that they were using just to bring materials from the first and second floor. And I should back up here. This warehouse was actually under some modernization or construction, and according to reports by the city of Chicago, the permits that were pulled did not include the removal of the elevator equipment for demolition. So again, I doubt that attorneys are going to allow the building to be demolished right away, to be honest with you, but it is not a good situation. One that I think we're definitely going to read more about it. And it's when you have a building with open holes in the floors and an elevator shaft that's open as well, regardless of people ever going into it, you have to do the right thing. You have to make sure that everything is up to code, obviously. WGNTV.com news has a video article here. Let's see if we can play this without the ad blaring in everybody's ears, without a huge commercial as well. And we'll get. Okay, there we go. Skip the ad. There's nothing funny about this situation. Skip ad. Come on.
If you celebrate.
Okay, it's not letting me do that. Apparently, I can't skip the ad. And we'll play the WGN. Yeah, it's not going to let us skip the ad. Okay, anyway, but we'll let WGN cover the story. Just 5 seconds.
Pretty damning here, citing more than 24 violations, work being done on this building without the proper permits and without the proper safety precautions being taken inside, including an open elevator shaft from the second floor down. Filed today and obtained by WGN, the building inspection details dozens of violations. The warehouse in the 9200 block of South Baltimore, where Chicago firefighter Daniel Capuano died in a fall yesterday. The photos paint a picture of a building under renovation, from the dumpsters outside to construction equipment found inside. Flammable kerosene left in the open and exposed circuit panels with wiring. And then the sobering reminder, openings on the second floor. No barriers in place, including the demolished elevator shaft, where Capuano fell 2 stories to his death. The report noting work that far exceeded any permits or plans the city was aware of, giving no warning to the firefighters who answered the call early Monday morning. A civil suit filed by the city Tuesday asks for an emergency motion to demolish the building, citing the dangers within, including exposed wiring and gaping holes in the floor. The court documents show the owner to be Anil Roshi LLC. One of the partners, Jaitan Patel, has a documented address on Western Avenue. But when we went there tonight to ask questions, we found this, a Venkat discount pharmacy. Nothing else. Well, the city plans to be in civil court on Thursday with that emergency motion for demolition. A source tells me that the Cook County State's Attorney, Anita Alvarez, has opened an investigation into possible criminal charges against the building's owners.
All right, Sean. Thank you. Well,
Anyway, yeah, we're going to read more about this, and just as a reminder, it's not just those in the general writing in the public that use our equipment or have to worry about situations in buildings. It's those that fight fires, and emergency personnel. So, again, make sure that any situation that you see is unsafe, get it corrected. Okay, mirror.co.uk has a very disturbing video of a man who died after falling off escalator in a shopping mall and then landing on another person that was just shopping. It looks as if there was no foul play at place here. It looks as if perhaps he actually had a heart attack and then fell over the side. But regardless, it's a graphic video, just as a warning, and it's terrible. So obviously, I don't know. It's not always about, I guess, people doing stupid stuff. It's just something that happened unbelievably quickly. Okay, in Trenton, New Jersey, apparently a Trenton man knocked unconscious in elevator fight between 2 men in an elevator of an apartment building, left one unconscious and another facing assault charges. Man, 38-year-old and 52-year-old Trenton man began arguing in an elevator. Unfortunately, the video shows that the man continued to get beaten as he was like lying on the floor unconscious. Just great, yeah. Okay. Can't we all just get along? Next news article. Broken elevator limits Yuba County court access. And again, just going to show you, this coming from the appealdemocrat.com, that elevators are really important. When trying to talk a building owner or anyone for that matter into installing an elevator, it's always good to have more than one. So apparently public access to Yuba County Superior Court has been limited for more than a month as county officials wait for a part to be repaired on a broken elevator. And obviously this throws a big monkey wrench into the, paying fines, attending court, etc., etc. Federal law requires that people with disabilities have equal and full access to the judicial system. There's another elevator in the building, but using it would require escorting people through the jail. Oops. Yikes. Anyway, just another reason why our jobs that we do are that important. But obviously when you've got equipment that might be old or whatever the situation is, it cannot be the thing to take care of. Mitsubishi to build elevator factory in South Korea. This is coming from businesswire.com. The facility's R&D center will absorb selected development functions currently based in Japan, and Mitsubishi feels that this will allow them to collaborate more closely with the Inazawa Works in product development, thereby strengthening its response to the global market needs. Written like a marketing professional, right? Next news article. Elevator at Caverns gets diagnosis. Apparently, the elevators at the elevator at the Carlsbad Cavern National Park have been on a service since early November. Could be up and running in the summer of 2016. Apparently, TKE inspected the elevator. Problem determined that it was the broken down 40-year-old elevator motor, which can take time, obviously. It's not as easy just to put a new motor in the place of an old motor, depending if it's a DC, AC, whatever, but it's crazy. So if you are listening, if you want to reach out to H&H Motor Services, they could probably rewind what you got, perhaps, or find something you might need to replace that. So, yeah, it's a long time, seems like, to get a part replaced or, installed. So maybe there's got to be more to it than just the motor. Anyway, link is in the show notes if you want to read more about it. Okay, man's shoe caught in mall escalator. This happened in, I don't know where this happened actually. Thanin News is reporting it. Look at the image. Okay, now this is a classic image of a shoe caught underneath the comb teeth that actually pushed the comb plate, whole plate out. And it looks as if it happened at as you exited the elevator. Again, hey, you want to prevent your feet from getting caught like this? Lift them up when you get off the escalator. My goodness. Somehow it got stuck between the step and the escalator platform. Yeah, lift your feet up. Again, it's just amazing that. It's just amazing that that doesn't happen. Apparently, the man who got their foot stuck was assisted by his brother, who ironically had a disabled leg, which it's just crazy. Anyway, okay, Trump Hotel Chicago transforms elevator. I give the designers an A for effort. This happened last year as well. It's coming from WTTW Chicago Tonight. If you look at this and then you start reading through the express by numbers of what they added in weight to the elevator. Now, granted, the front of this facade is actually it may take a part of what these tallies are, but man, they just added a ton of weight to the elevator, and at the end of the day, that's not good. It's not code compliant. This is unsafe. And A for effort. And they're raising money for St. Jude's Hospital. But use a vinyl graphic next time, man. Don't put this actual crap on your on the inside of an elevator. That's my advice to you all out there, because 445 pounds of all-purpose flour, 5.5 pounds of cinnamon, 3.25 pounds of ginger, 230 pounds of dark corn syrup, 105 pounds of dark sugar. Holy crap. I mean, and granted, it's not all on the inside of the elevator, but still, you've just added a ton of frickin' stuff to your elevator. So, man, City of Chicago inspectors, come over here and give Trump a hard time on this thing. I know it's a good cause, but, man, there's got to be a better way of doing it than this. In action news, apparently a man blocks elevator exit and then robs a passenger. Oh yeah, love the world we live in sometimes. It's happening apparently in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or that's where the news story is being reported. Next news article: symposium on lift and escalator dates have been set for 2016. This is in the UK, and it's always cool to see the organizing committee getting this going. This is going to be in Northampton, UK, September 2016, from the 21st to the 22nd. So if you want to go to that, sign up, link up, and they've got a pretty good lineup. It looks as if, committee that's organizing that conference. So pretty cool. Terrible. And I actually have this one labeled incorrectly. Oh, no, I don't. I think we might have talked about this last week. Apparently, Gold Coast Bulletin reporting that escalator crushes 5-year-old girl's finger at Pacific Fair. Another child has been taken to the hospital after getting her hand stuck in an escalator at the Pacific Fair. Okay, what have we learned? Okay, I mean, the handrail didn't crush her finger. It's a stair. So parents, please, 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 do not allow your kids to sit on escalator stairs. Do not allow them to put their fingers down to where they perhaps could get caught or pinched or whatever. It's, When firefighters work for 45 minutes to free a little child who has her hand stuck in an escalator, a finger, my goodness. Come on, parents, these are not amusement rides. Put on your thinking caps. Follow the safety procedures. I mean, geez, come on. Please, please, please. Scary. Could have been much worse. Okay, apparently mall, Daily News reporting a mall in the UK has been fined £115,000, I'm assuming, or maybe it's $150,000, I'm not quite sure, I love the title, after man has chopped off by escalator. Ugh. Now, this is not a preventable accident here. Take a look at the photograph. Scroll all the way down after you close this stupid ad. Look at the escalator step opening that he apparently had his foot in when it went up. But again, you see an unsafe condition like this, you figure, oh, I just put my foot in there. Maybe he didn't put his foot in, but just had it too close. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know, scary. I guess I can see that happening without. I can see that happening, but it's still scary as crap. Again, not a good week for news. Okay, yikes. Now, I posted this article back when it was went online back in October. What scared me as I read down, this addresses a contractor in New York who has had 2 accidents that are not good, but I just read down about an issue with intermittent wiring problem with door locks causing the elevator to run with hoistway doors open, which is totally scary. We covered this before. I just didn't get into it in greater depth in the past. I believe the problem has been fixed, but still, it's amazing that a controller could actually do that without somebody actually jumping that circuit out, because according to what I'm aware of codes, that should not happen, should never happen, and there should be a fail-safe system in place to ensure that doesn't happen. But again, it's just a little scary. Okay, elevator inspections in Rhode Island. Interesting piece, which has me kind of questioning, as many of you might want to question as well. But again, Rhode Island's it's a little state. It's a little state. I'm sure they have budget issues as well. But the only concern that I have regarding this article, and I'll let everybody watch it at your own leisure, is the fact that those that install the elevator equipment or modernize it can also inspect it, where that is not allowed in many states. Third-party inspectors, yes, but not the same company inspecting what has been installed, which, as you can see, there are violations according to the report. What they are exactly, and how serious they are, it's not really noted. But it doesn't seem like a good good system in place. So unfortunately, we hope that it doesn't take an accident, something tragic to occur to change how Rhode Island actually does elevator inspections. And honestly, why is it that an inspection department for elevators can't sustain itself? It can in certain states, but why is it that states cannot? It shouldn't be a loss leader. It should not be something that, inspection fees don't cover. I guess it can if there's not enough units to inspect, but there's got to be some good business plan, and maybe it's just the fact that government can't. In this situation, or many situations, government can't get their stuff in gear to turn that around. I don't know. I just don't know. But other states have been able to be very profitable. Not profitable, I don't want to say that, but sustaining to where they can hire more inspectors, have the equipment to inspect elevators, to implement modern electronic systems to inspect elevators. There's all sorts of stuff that, should be possible when you're talking about inspection services. And that goes for any of them, whether it's plumbing or whatever. So, and it happens all the time. There should be some good, easy roadmap to make that all happen, but it's not. Okay, last news article of the program, Elevator World Unplugged, has a pretty cool article about Werner von Siemens, and inventor of the electric elevator and the oldest of the Siemens brothers. Had every opportunity to carry out his early electrical experiments while serving a prison sentence for acting as a second in a duel. During this period of confinement, he invented the galvanoplastic process, sold it to secure funds for his experiments, and was exasperated when pardoned and deprived of his seclusion. At the age of 26, finding the British law gave an inventor protection not found in Germany. He and his brother Carl moved to England, where they registered the patent for gold and silver electroplating. So pretty cool. And Siemens is still going strong today. And that's going to do it for the show, everybody. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Remember what I said earlier. If you see an unsafe situation, correct it. Make sure somebody is aware. Do whatever you can to ensure that tragedy similar to what happened on Monday doesn't happen, or the potential for that doesn't happen. And make safety a priority in your day, each and every day, so that we can all go home to our loved ones. On behalf of myself and my family, to you and your family, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We will see and talk to everybody a week from next Wednesday. And if you enjoyed the program, please feel free to share it to your friends, enemies, lovers, whatever. And that's about it. So everybody take care. Have a great rest of the week and a great Merry Christmas, okay? Bye-bye.